Hi there.
again.
Hello again.
So I have another question about the sleeping pill Ambien,
Right.
and I heard it's very safe, and even I heard Huberman, the PhD neuroscientist, saying that it can temporarily enhance your memory, but I'm still worried. It's still sleeping pill, right?
Right. Yeah. Ambien has been, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine notes that it can be a very effective medication. It can improve our quality of sleep and how we function the next day. So that is very positive. But any medication potentially can have side effects. One of the risks for sleep meds, especially in the more senior folks, is that if they wake up in the middle of the night because they have to use the facilities, they may be at greater risk to fall and have a problem.
That's right.
And one of the ways of helping with that is having a night light and checking before you go to bed that there's nothing in your way.
That's right.
So that's not the fault of Ambien, but if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're getting a good sleep, but you have to get up and you've taken any sleeping med, that's something you have to worry with. Now, but like also there are potential problems. Ambien for some people is not side effect free. The next day you can become impaired. You may not return to normal functioning for some folks.
Yes.
Again, not everybody. It can change your behavior for some individuals. And I think the issue is to see how you feel on it. And sometimes we don't realize, I think, our own behavior. So if somebody else is around you, after you've taken, you can say, hey, am I seeming any different than I was the other day when I didn't take it? Just an external way of having somebody else look at you and say, nope, you're perfectly okay, or no, you don't seem quite yourself, then you would have to reassess what the medicine you're taking.
Yeah, my experiences is, but Ambien is pretty safe. I heard, who's that finance guy who was in jail, Madoff? Is that?
Yes.
He took the whole bottle, but he didn't die, and he lived up to 90 years old.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who will take, I don't know if that was deliberate, probably it was deliberate in his part, who do take a larger amount and are fortunate without having a problem. But there are a few people who do take either deliberately or by mistake too many and can have a very poor or fatal outcome.
Yes, okay. And my personal experiences, again, keep very low dosage. So if I traveled, I would take half tablet. But if you take at different time, it seems interfere the sleep in different way. Like people like to take before they go to bed.
Right.
And then the Ambien, I don't know the mechanism, but I know it put people in a very deep sleep for 4 or 5 hours. And then you're wide awake.
Yeah, that's how it works for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
But again, you have to see how you respond to it. I mean, personally, I tried it once, it just zero for me. But that's just my response. And other people have excellent response and use it. But like any medicine like that, ideally you don't use it all the time. If you're traveling and it's, you're in a different bed, you're in a different time zone, it's more difficult to get to sleep, and to use a sleep aid is not a problem.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be on it. I've had patients who came under my care who said, oh yeah, I've been on it for the last few years.
Yes.
And were taking it every night. And fortunately nothing harmful happened to them. But again, you want to be careful.
Yes, yes. And very interestingly, when I took that before I go to bed, and then I will sleep 4 or 5 hours, and then the next day I have hard time to fall asleep because I think it changed the sleep pattern. It should be stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and then REM, but it's put you in a deep sleep for 5 hours, and then that's shut down your blood flow to your brain, right?
Yeah, it can definitely make a difference. I mean, ideally for sleep, people should try, in my mind, other simple things, relaxation therapy.
Yes.
Herbert Benson, who's at Harvard and wrote a book, The Relaxation Response, goes through a very simple technique that people can use to try and after a day when you've been busy and hectic, calm your body down so you go into a sleep mode. Don't just before you go to bed be watching eventful TV where you're seeing something that is frightening, exciting. You may not want to be reading a book that is causing you to get quite involved.
Yes.
Yeah, so those additional ways of helping yourself are all beneficial.
Yes, yes. The other phenomenon I noticed that now I change the way, if I really need to take that, I would take that, like I would try every single way to sleep by myself, like exercise, meditation, and then I relax, so I would achieve like at least a 5-hour natural sleep.
Right.
And then if I woke up early, I'll take half tablet, and that will bring me from like a 4 to 6 or 7. So that'll give the extra time. That way, I find, first of all, the next day I don't have problem to fall back to sleep without medication. And second of all, I noticed that this way, my memory, my short memory is not influenced.
Right.
Because when you stay in deep sleep for more than 4 hours, you cut off the circulation, slow down, and especially in deep sleep. So that's kind of a dangerous to lead to the dementia, right?
Right. And this all comes in what you really effectively said is you know yourself, you know how you respond, and you adjust the medication based on how you respond. You don't take a full dose.
Yes.
If it's later that you're going to take it, you've cut it down to half.
Yes.
You know, you don't use it all the time, only
Yes.
those times that you need it. And that's the proper way to take that type of medicine. Because
Yes.
you're treating a problem which, if you have chronic insomnia, then you may want to see somebody to say, why am I having it? Is there any other underlying problems that should be addressed?
Yes.
But for the episodic or periodic insomnia, which I think most people have,
Yes.
Ambien is a very